Philosophy for the week. I think a lot about, you know, how I became the way that I am. And it's partly, yeah, a big part of it is one word. One word that that made me the way that I am. That word is cope. You know, for me, a cope wasn't a way. You know, a cope. It originally came from the incel community, where that's where I first heard it. You know, and these people, whenever you said something that was delusional or something, they said cope. They called that a cope. You know, like the definition that I eventually learned from it is believing something, or basically telling yourself something that isn't true, but that makes your current situation look better, look more desirable. And that made me think about religion. You know, the Christians, what they said was, if you're a good person in this life, you will get success, and no, not success, but you will get a very pleasant afterlife. And if you were a bad person, which basically meant that you were selfish, that would make you go to hell. But what this actually entailed was that the kings who had their vast riches, the greedy merchants who lived in luxury, the lustful man who bedded many women, who slept around, who eventually had a lot more kids than these other guys. That, took a vow of celibacy. The glutton who drank more than the others, who ate more than the others, and thus was stronger because he didn't starve himself. The envious man who killed the people he was envious of and got that stuff he eventually wanted. It all really entails to, if you get what you want, you're a bad person. If you do what you want, you're a bad person. And I think that's a disgusting way of living, of seeing the world, basically. See, what I want is like, they have this mentality of, I want this, but I'm not strong enough to get that, so I'll just make up this whole belief to cope with the fact that I can't get what I want. But people will do this. They would rather live a lie. They would rather be delusional, you know, change their entire view on reality just to cope with the fact that they can't get something they want. Rather it be small or big. Then you have things like Buddhism. Life is suffering. You know, life is only suffering if you're weak. If you can't get what you want, life is suffering. You know, and this it's very curious that these philosophies emerge from insect-like societies like in Asia and stuff. You know, very brutal, very dictatorship is, you know, strict social codes and stuff that crushes the spirit of a man. That doesn't allow a man to become a man. That keeps a boy, that makes a weak man weaker, and strong men get exiled or killed, or in very rare cases they rise to the top. And in those societies you think suffering is something, you know, uncommon? Of course not. It's very common. In fact, I believe that it was the norm back in those days. You know, if you live like that, if you live in those environments, of course you would seek a religion that says, yeah, life is suffering, but that is a good thing. It's like pain is bad, right? You know, why is pain bad? Because it's damage to your body. You know, and they'll say, oh, but you know, pain can sometimes be good because it's a sign of change. You know, no, but it isn't. If it was a positive change, it would feel pleasurable, right? Like even in the gym, right? I experience pain, but I know it's pain with a goal. I'm striving towards something. I can endure that pain for the reward it gives me. Now say I did slave labor or physical labor, right? What will you get? Like a bit of money, and you know you get injured, you're tired, you work for someone else, you work for someone else's goal. Do you really think this is do you really think this is no, those people will say that's really think those people are enjoying their life? But of course they will say you know, you working, yes, is merely. No, of course not. No self-respecting man will work in those conditions. But you know, work is a necessary part of life. Even the tiger has to work to get his prey. But he works for himself. And that is the big difference between now, how people live in these days, and how people lived in the past. Everyone is a kind of slave these days, you know, it's unavoidable. But you can change it. You can change it. But for that, you need to leave your old beliefs behind. You need to be truthful. And I think that truth is one of the most important things. That's why I always say, if I'm being, that's why I'm also say, if I'm being honest, I say that a lot, before almost every sentence I say, to be honest, you know, even if I didn't say a lie beforehand, or if I, did something, I still say that. Why? Because I basically tell it to myself. Be honest, right? And that's what you need to do to yourself. You need to be honest. You need to really be in touch with what you really want, with what you really feel. You need to basically, you need to say, if you don't enjoy something, you need to admit it. I don't enjoy something. You know, if you do enjoy the reward, you need to be honest. I don't enjoy this, but I do enjoy the reward. Take the example for the gym, right? Take the example of the tiger hunting his prey, right? Well, what do you think tigers do when they're not working, right? They're lounging around, playing, fucking, right? That's basically what they do. Be like the tiger, not like the worker bee. The worker bee that just sits that works all day. Gets the honey, gets the thing. You know, it's like, and I do believe that some people were meant to be worker bees and some people were meant to be tigers, right? You gotta look at yourself. Are you supposed to be a tiger? Are you supposed to be free? If you are, great. If you're not, also great. The world also needs worker bees, but you gotta be honest with yourself. That's the most important thing. Whenever you're lying to yourself, just remember, cope, right? Don't stop coping. Stop lying to yourself. That's all I want to say.